Okay, so like I start out with all my fun interviews, I get to welcome you back. But for those who don't know who are you?
I am Sounder, go by the name Sounder. My real name is Kate, but I am a vocalist, songwriter, performer. Have worked with a lot of EDM artists over the years, and my own solo project is all alternative based.
Ooh. So, like I said earlier, this is our second time going back to
It
four here,
is.
two for two. It's been a moment, and now you've released a brand new song literally last
Yeah.
Friday or the 13th.
Yeah, almost a week ago. Well, I guess not almost a week ago. It's only been 5 days or something, four
Yeah.
days.
So with that, it's been a moment since you released music in a while. How does it feel having a new song out in the
Yeah.
open?
So good. It's so good. This one specifically is so special because it's about something so much bigger than me. So to have the spotlight on this purpose versus like me as a human is really cool. And involving so many people in it, like so many different artists and different listeners and whatnot. It's been really awesome to have kind of the scope shift a little bit.
Now, the one thing I really enjoy about this song in comparison to the previous songs you've released, this one is like stripped down acoustic performance wise when
Yeah,
going into it. The song itself, I should mention the song's called Easy, so we forgot to mention that part. But
it is.
and you think that would be the easy part. Um, as my dad joke would continue on. Um, with it. So with the song being a stripped back and more acoustic feeling, I'm
Yeah.
curious as to why you chose to go this method as opposed to making it a full-on, pop rockish tone to it.
Yeah, yeah, it was very intentional. You're right, it is very different sounding than all of the rest of my stuff. Um, and I wanted this song to sound like we're sitting in a room together talking about these things. Like it's this very intimate conversation that we're having versus this huge production. And it's really fun to write music like that, like big production, big sounds and whatnot. But with this specifically, it really called for just simplicity and vulnerability and like an ability to connect with the listener. And even the vocal itself is very dry. There's hardly any reverb on it at all, specifically to mimic like just sitting in a room, with me with a guitar just playing. Um, and it's been a really interesting experience because when we went, my producer and I, when we went in to kind of rework this and get it ready to release, we're so used to the big sounds of things that it took us a little while to kind of get it right in being so stripped back because it's easy to kind of like overwork it if that makes sense. And yeah, it's been really fun. And the vocal itself was a demo vocal as well. We didn't re-record vocals or anything like that. It was just like this is purely expression and me connecting to the song, and that's what was used in the final as well.
I know one thing I liked was that you mentioned it being feeling like you're just in the room playing with
Yeah.
the other person, the viewer. Because especially when you add that extra bit where it's a demo voice, that's like your most rawest form with
Yeah.
very little editing in it. So
Yeah.
that really,
Yeah.
really enhances that whole feeling to it.
Yeah, and that, yeah, it was very intentional. Everything with this song, everything with the release has been for a purpose and has been very intentional in trying to connect to people outside of like the norm of what I do. Because I mean, I love talking to people and I love talking about music and that I've released and whatnot, but this one specifically is just like such a bigger purpose than anything I've ever done. So to have it be like, here's me, here's this vulnerable thing, here's this not perfectly polished vocal so that you can find yourself in it, so that you can feel more comfortable connecting to it has been really special.
Wow. And with that, you've added an extra addition to this, which is you're partnering up with mental health organizations in
Yeah.
collaboration with this, which is such a cool and wonderful thing to do to, you know, one help you help others out, but also help spread the message what your song is
Sure.
about.
Yeah,
So,
that in and of itself has been a really cool experience. It's pretty humbling. Like maybe it sounds cheesy, but it is pretty humbling to be able to curate this whole thing. When I decided that I wanted to partner with a nonprofit or with somebody to give back for mental health stuff, I wanted to find somebody or a group of people to partner with where I knew exactly where the funds were going to go. I knew that we, as a community, as a collective, in purchasing shirts and donating and so on, knew what we were doing with it, that it wasn't just an arbitrary, oh yeah, we're donating to mental health. It's like, no, this is a very specific purpose. And um, my therapist actually connected me with this group, with Peak Mindset and with Josh and Shara and Jaden. And they've been amazing. I view myself, this is kind of a silly comment, but I view myself as just like a kid. Like I'm just a kid making music, having fun. I'm grateful to have succeeded, obviously, but to meet with them and for them to be like, okay, what do you want to do? What's the goal with this? What do you want to provide? What is important to you? What is important to your community to provide and build that together has been so special. Like we used some of their workbooks and they picked which ones they believed were the most beneficial for like the intro to therapy, if you will. And then we built this group together and have it available for people to sign up to participate in. And it's just been a really, really humbling experience.
so when it came to researching and figuring out what group to pick, what was some of the factors that you wanted to make sure that were very important for you to show?
Yeah, I wanted to know them personally, which was kind of a little bit of a challenge because with my therapist, she needed to refer outside of their practice because, of course, I'm currently still seeing her, so it would have been a little bit of a challenge to work together business wise and also still be a patient. So she referred me to these guys, and in the first conversation, knowing that they already are doing these things. They're already trying to give back to the community. They're already hosting groups and different things, and they're so knowledgeable. That was really important to me to have people that are worth their salt, if you will, that know what they're doing, that are very established, and also we're game to kind of partner on this because it is a pretty nuanced thing. It's a pretty unique thing to have an artist in your community come to you and be like, hey, I want to do this thing. I want to release t-shirts and fund this thing. Let's figure it out. So, kind of, I guess to summarize, the important things to me were knowing what we're doing with it, knowing exactly what the money is funding, and then knowing that the people running it were really amazing professionals, that they had plenty of experience in treating people, that they had, openness and passion for this and in working together on this project.
That's good. I'm glad that you were able to kind of find somebody that would help both
Yeah.
sides. And you mentioned it so many times. I have to bring up bring up the
Oh,
t-shirt
yeah.
design. How did the design come to be? Because it's really cute.
Yeah,
And
I love the t-shirts, man. They're so comfy too, perfectly in time for fall and spooky season, comfy season. Um, this whole thing came together a couple months ago, which is kind of crazy in music stuff. Usually it's like a huge lead up that is like 6 months to a year before you release it. You have this plan and everything. And it was more so me just being like, what if we did this thing? And everybody being like, oh, okay, this is crazy, but let's do it. I was having a conversation with my best friend who's a tattoo artist and visual artist. And I was talking to her about every year I try to partner with or do some kind of initiative for Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. And this year coincided with my 30th birthday as well. So I wanted to do something really cool. And I wanted to release merch and directly have the merch fund whatever group I was going to work with. And she was like, well, we were talking about the design. She's like, well, do you have any lyrics that like really stand out to you that we could put on this? And I was like, well, nothing released, but what if we also release a song at the same time? So we released the song and worked on perfecting the song and finishing it for release after I had decided to put the lyrics on the back of the shirt. So it's kind of like a backwards way of doing it, but it felt so poignant and so purposeful afterwards, where it's almost like this song and this t-shirt and this initiative needed to exist. We had so many things that could have stopped this from happening, especially with such a short time frame, and it really all came together so well. Obviously, with a lot of intention and work, but to have it all come together is just kind of the little magic from the universe where it's like, okay, certain things are meant to happen. But Ash has designed the t-shirt. Um, and she turned me into an anime manga character, which is like all of my dreams of being teleported into anime have come true. Um, and then it has, oh my gosh, sorry, my
You're
dog.
good.
It has lyrics from the song on it, and then all of the imagery is also very symbolic as well. So, like hope and healing and so on and so forth, like even the Japanese maple and stuff like that. So, yeah.
It's kind of as if like the shirt propelled you to finish it first, just so that you can be like, I have the shirt to prove that I finished this.
Yeah, yeah. It is so interesting kind of how it came to be. Like it started as just a casual conversation of, hey, I want to do this thing. And then anytime I work with my best friend on a project, it's like, okay, you want to do this thing? Let's do it huge. Let's do it times 100, whatever. So it went from this idea into what it is now with the t-shirts and partnering with the nonprofit or the therapy group and all of the videos that I've worked on with having listeners submit their videos and having other artists do their videos of like talking about mental health. And it's just really cool because this is something that I've wanted to do since I was 16. So to be to a place where I have this idea and then I have people in my life that can contribute to the idea and help build on it. And then I am empowered to also continue to build on it where I'm like, let's not just do t-shirts. Let's do a song. Let's do all these videos. Let's partner with somebody. Let's do these things. And it's taken a lot of time and work to get to this point in my career. And it's really, really incredible to finally be to a point where we can pull something like this off.
And wow. I mean, the fact that all those combinations, just so much. How are you sleeping at night?
It's been a busy couple months. Sorry, my headphones keep cutting out. It's
You're
been a
good.
busy like couple months since I decided to do this. And I mean, I own another business as well, so I'm definitely cranking on doing things at all times. But it's also, I was actually talking to my therapist about this morning. The the fact that this song is so removed, not so removed for me, but is so not about me, I guess, helps me be excited to work on it. Like it helps it not be an exhausting thing or a tiring thing where it's like, no, I'm so excited about this. Like I'm so engaged in working on it and posting it and talking to people.
Good. That's amazing that you're able to have that feeling of being able to just talk about it. And it's a wonderful song. I've enjoyed listening to it. You got the song out now, and you've got merch out, and there's so many different ways to help participate and contribute. I'm always going to be questioning about this because I'm a sucker for these. Are you planning on doing any kind of music video wise for this, whether it be just a
Um,
stripped down guitar performance?
we've talked about it. Gosh, sorry, my headphones are just killing me.
Oh,
We've
you're
talked about it, but I'm kind of on the fence. I might. Maybe I'll do like an acoustic video at some point, but really, I wanted this song to be about everyone. So it felt kind of odd to do that, but also be like, here, look at me singing this song, if that makes sense, where it's like the purpose of all of the videos that I've made and all of the videos that we've been releasing with the song and like promoting the song and even like the canvas on Spotify, the clips on Spotify, everything on social media. is other people's videos. So those are listener submitted videos that were put together in montages to share. Um, the purpose being, I want people to actually see themselves in this song. I don't want it to be about me and my experiences are like, oh, hey, I overcame struggling with mental health, where it's like, it's about you. It's about the listeners, it's about my friends, my family, my experiences. It's about all of us in one. So maybe eventually, maybe in October or something, maybe before the end of the year, we do like an acoustic video, but it's definitely an intentional thing to have not done one so far.
Okay. No, that's a valid point. Yeah. Are we expected to see more coming out soon from you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The release schedule for the rest of the year is fairly packed, which is great. I have a few collaborations coming out from the Sounder solo project, so a couple more alternative leaning songs. Um, and then I think I have a couple of dance music collaborations coming out as well. So, and then possibly a, a, a shorter EP from me as well before the end of the year. But we'll see
All
about that
right.
one.
The big question of the day, actually, it'll be two big questions of the day. The first one is, where can we be able to find this song as well as the organization?
Yeah, so you can stream the song on any platform. It's just called Easy, and then my artist name again is Sounder, SOUNDR. You can follow me, listen, share from there. And then to find information on the organization and to donate as well as to purchase the shirt, you would just go to iamsounder.com and there's two different options, one for purchasing the shirt and then one for a donation. Um, all donations go directly to funding the mental health group as well as proceeds from the shirt. Um, and then I think I have a link in my bio as well for information on Peak Mindset and the group that we are hosting as well.
Amazing. And of course, I always ask the last part, where can we be able to find you?
On all social media platforms under at I am SOUNDR. My dog wants to tell you how to follow him too, apparently.
I love
Come on.
that.